Hi Jason, it's Jenny. Sorry I'm not going to be able to be there tonight to help you, but I figured I could make this video and then I would show you kind of how to get, first of all, your mouthpiece unstuck with the fun little tool, and also how to clean your instrument out, and then just talk about a few other things that you could work on while I'm not there. So the first thing is getting your mouthpiece unstuck, and what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take this tool that I'm going to send home with your mom, okay? And I'm going to hold it this way so you can see it. And the first thing is that it'll come apart at the bottom. See that? And these two clamps down here, they're going to go on your trumpet right above the lead pipe. So don't put them on the lead pipe. Put them right above the lead pipe. And I'll try and bring that closer so you can see. Okay? So you see where the lead pipe is, and I've put them right above there. And then I hold it shut with my hand like this while I do it. So I put it above the lead pipe and I'm holding it shut. Okay? Now, after you do that, you're going to notice that there's this little thing here in the middle that kind of wobbles back and forth. You're going to turn the lever up here, righty-tighty, and as you turn it righty-tighty, you're actually going to see this little gadget coming up this way. So it's going to get tight on the mouthpiece. So here we go. I'm holding it tight with my hand here, okay, and I'm turning the lever. See, there it goes. It's getting tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. It's going to keep going up. Perfect. Keep going up. There we go. See, now you can see it's almost all the way up to where it's tight on the mouthpiece. And then what you're going to do is eventually it'll get to the point where it's pretty tight, okay? And this is when it's especially important that you hold these two pieces together, because if these two pieces come off this part right here, then your leverage is gone and you're going to have to try again. Okay, so make sure you're holding that nice and tight. Okay, and I want you to keep pushing. Okay, and when the mouthpiece finally pops out, it will be kind of sudden, so don't get scared. Okay, but you're going to keep going, and then eventually the mouthpiece will pop out. Okay, like that, and it'll just come right out. Again, if it doesn't work the first time, or if these side things come off, if they slip off because the pressure's too great, just unwind it, right? Unwind it, and then try again. Okay? So that's how you get your mouthpiece unstuck. Okay? Once that's done, then we can worry about cleaning it. So the first things first is to clean the mouthpiece. You can just wash that with soap and water. You can also get a mouthpiece brush, which looks a lot like your snake, and you can push that through it, and that'll help to get out any gunky stuff that's kind of in the middle. So that's another idea. But that's just the mouthpiece part. Okay? So once you clean the mouthpiece, you can set that aside, let it dry. Okay? For the rest of the trumpet, you have 4 slides. You have the main slide, which is right here, okay, and that's got a water key on it. Okay. By the way, make sure all these slides move. So as I talk about them, just make sure that they come in and out. You don't have to take them all the way out, but just make sure they move, right? So this one should move. See how I can move it in and out? I can put it all the way in. I can move it out. Okay. When you set it to play, you should set it about a thumb's width, like a thumb's width away. Okay. That's generally about right. So measure it with your thumb. If you see a thumb's width of slide, then you know you've got it about the right distance. Okay. Now, in terms of cleaning the main slide, what you're going to do is you're going to just pull it all the way out. Ta-da! And then first you're going to want to snake your lead pipe right here. So you're going to want to unravel your snake. Assuming it is raveled. I always ravel my snake because it's just easier to carry around than having this super long wire. So there you go. Here's your snake. Okay? You're going to take the trumpet, and don't put your face at the other end, because more than likely you're going to be actually pushing stuff out of that end, and you don't want it in your face. So then you're just going to push the snake through like this, all the way through. It should go through pretty easy. And then when it comes out the other end, there might be some gunk on it. This one's not too bad, probably because I cleaned it recently. Okay? And then you can actually just pull it right back through, and voila, then that's clean. I wouldn't recommend running water through your trumpet. You can, but when you do, then you have to take everything out and re-grease it and re-oil it, and sometimes that's actually kind of a pain. So after you run your snake through the lead pipe, you can set that down and run your snake through your main tuning slide, because this is really where you're going to find most of the gunk, is your lead pipe and the tuning slide. Okay, so you're going to do the same thing. This one might be a little trickier because it is rounded. Okay, yet again, don't point it at your face. You might get gunk in your face. Okay, so point it away from your face. You might have to jimmy it a little bit. You might have to work it. If you can't get it to go all the way through, don't force it. Just push it as far as it'll go. Okay, there we go. See, I'm noticing that it works better if I put it in from this side first and then try and push it through. Okay, there you go. Oop, yep, see, something shot out there. Okay, so just be careful with how you're pushing it through and everything. Okay, just don't get your face in the way. All right, so after you've cleaned your main tuning slide and your lead pipe, put that back in. Make sure the water key goes on bottom, of course. I'm sure you know that. Okay, and if it's kind of sticking a little bit, like this one's sticking a little, like it's a little bit difficult for me to actually push it in. There we go. I mean, I got it. It moves, but it's a little tricky. You can take some of the slide grease that you have, and you can just rub just a little bit. You do not need a lot. Just a tiny little bit along the whole slide. Like I usually just I just rub my finger once in it, and then I put it on there, and that's enough for the entire slide. I just rub it around. Okay, and that'll make it go real smooth. And I usually only re-grease my slides like once every 4 or 5 months, so you really don't have to do it very often. So if your slides are moving fine, definitely don't have to do it often. Just when they start to stick, just take it off, dry them off, and re-grease them. Okay. Now you've got 3 more slides. You've got your first valve slide. That's this one here, and you know that it's the first valve because they all connect to the valve that they're for. So this one is the first valve slide, and then here's the second valve slide, the very super tiny one, and then back here on this side, right, is the third valve slide where you put your ring finger in that nice little ring that you have there. Now, those ones I actually wouldn't recommend cleaning out with a snake. They're too small and they're not going to get too much gunk in them. So I wouldn't put a snake through them. What you can do is if you want to take each one out, make sure you push down the valve. So like to take out the first valve side, I'm going to push down that valve and then I'm going to take it out. And you can rinse it with water. Now, when you rinse it with water and soap, when you rinse it with water and soap, just make sure that you dry it off really well. And then, of course, that you re-grease the slide part before you put it back on. Okay? And then to put it back on, I'm going to push the first valve down again and push it back in. If you don't push the valve down, it creates too much pressure, like air pressure, when you pull it out, and then you hear this popping sound, and that's never very good for the trumpet. We don't want to do that, so that's why I just say push it down, then pull it out, and then push it down to push back in. Okay, same with all the other ones. All right, so that's kind of how you clean it. It's pretty simple. So now we've gone over how to get your mouthpiece out and how to clean it. The only other things that I would say for you to work on are just that, as I saw you playing on the mouthpiece, actually take this in front of like a mirror in the bathroom, okay, just the mouthpiece. And I want you to look at what the sides of your mouth look like as you play. Make sure that your lips aren't poofing out, like right there, my lips are poofing a little bit, and I know it's hard to see on the video, okay? But you can even make a buzz, and you can kind of feel around, right, as you buzz to see what's happening right there, okay? And especially try and do something maybe like a siren, where you try to buzz really high, right? And especially as you get up high, maybe try and hold a really high note. And feel what's happening right here, okay? Because if you feel like it's really like poofy, like, you know, like it's really loose right there, then that might be a big reason why it's difficult to go high. Something that I like to say is almost pretend like you have to hold pencils in your corners right here. So like if you had a sharpened pencil and you put here, you know, like, could you hold it in the corner? I mean, that's how tight it has to be right there. Now, I know you're probably not actually going to be able to hold pencils in your corners, but that's the idea. That's what you want to be thinking about, okay? That's how tight you want these sides to be, because when these sides get tight, then this right here is going to get smaller. And as this gets smaller, your notes are they're going to be higher. Okay, so that just seems to be the biggest thing that the last time we met that I was noticing was just that in terms of your embouchure, it was just a little loose, it was a little open. So if you can work on getting this tighter here, okay, then this in the center is just gonna tighten right up. Okay, again, keep working on that because we don't want to push. We don't want to like jam the mouthpiece into our mouth because the harder we push, the more damage we're going to do to this area, okay? And actually the less well our muscles will work here. You know, I mean, think of your whole lip as a muscle here, right? And as you push on it, you know, you're creating the friction that you need, but if you push too hard, you're actually keeping that muscle from working properly, okay? So we're really trying to work on building up muscles here in the corners so we don't have to push so hard with the trumpet, okay? If you need another kind of example of what that would mean, I mean, imagine you're trying to lift weights or swing your bat for baseball, right? And then imagine that somebody puts a rubber band around your arm right here and pushes as hard as they possibly can, right? To swing that bat would be kind of hard, right? Even if you squeeze your arm right now and you pretend like you're going to swing the bat, right? It doesn't feel so great, right? Okay, so the less pressure that we have to use pushing here, the easier it's actually going to be for us to go high. We just need to make sure, again, that we use our air and that we squeeze right here, okay, not push. So those are definitely some things for you to work on. Keep trying those things and see if it makes any kind of a difference. Also, again, just let your mom know if there's anything else that you have questions about, because if she brings them to me, I can make you another video, or I can just tell her. I can just tell her what to tell you. So yeah, okay. I hope this is helpful. Okay. Good luck, Jason.